Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to my channel, The Daily DIYer. We're gonna make lots of great summertime 5-minute projects today. They're also all going to be under $5 each, so they're budget friendly as well, mainly because I hit the Target dollar spot and found a lot of these items. So these wood blocks were only $3 and we're gonna transform them into cute little picture holders. So I have a small drill bit and I'm just drilling a hole into each one of these blocks at the top and doing that to all 3 of them. You can also use scrap wood pieces as well, such as 1-bys, and cut them down and put your own USA on the front if you can't find these in the Target dollar spot. So keep that in mind as you go through these projects. You can also use what you have around the house too. To turn these into cute little picture holders, we're going to be using these ornament hooks that are from Christmas time. They were only $1 from Walmart. You can find these at craft stores too, so keep your eye out during the holidays for these, but you can use your own wire and create these really simple too, just by coiling the top and making the bottom just have a little bit of a straight longer piece. So I did this to 3 of these ornament hooks and then grabbed out my super glue that is from Dollar Tree and added a little bit of glue and adhesive to the bottom parts of the wire and inserted them into the holes in those wood blocks. These Christmas ornament hooks definitely have me in the Christmas spirit. I'm so excited. I have a Christmas in July collab coming up in a few weeks, so subscribe if you haven't yet so you don't miss out on that. But I love Christmas all year long. If you're Team Christmas too, let me know down in the comments below. And then just to give you an idea on size, these wood blocks are 4 inches square. So I headed into my computer, found some photos from our last year's summertime festivities and memories, and printed those out at about 2.5 inches square and left a little white border around each photo as I cut them out with my paper trimmer, and then they just sit right down into the coil part of that wire. And then we have really great memories to look back on and have on display for this year. Next up is this lantern that I also found at the Target dollar spot. You could also use a lantern maybe you have on hand too. This one was really cute because it has a little tea light in it that you can turn on and off. I want to say it was only about $3 or $5. I couldn't find the tag, so something like that's really inexpensive. I grabbed out my ribbon basket and found some red, white, and blue ribbon, even some glitter ribbon, and we're gonna make a sort of wind sock at the bottom of this. That way we have some really pretty ribbon streamers hanging down. This would be so cute for some porch decor or party decor too. A tip with your ribbon is to actually take a lighter and just heat seal the ends, especially if this is going to be going outside and it's going to be in the wind. Then you don't want your ribbon fraying or coming undone. So that's kind of a nice little tip and trick, and it's really quick and easy to do. Just be very careful with that flame. I'm just using some hot glue to attach the streamers onto the bottom of this lantern, but I would definitely suggest something that's a little bit heavy duty if it's going to be going outside as well, something that can withstand the weather and the elements. The hot glue will actually melt in the sun if it gets too hot, so keep that in mind. But it turned out so cute and it's really fun, and I love the way the light hits the glitter ribbon as the wind is blowing those little tails. This is another great way to dress up maybe some pillows that you already have. This is a red and white striped one from Target. It was only $5. We're going to be making some tassels to go on the corners to give it that little touch of blue that it needed for the red, white, and blue theme. I'm going to be using a tassel maker. Now this is definitely not necessary. You can just use a piece of cardboard for this. This is definitely a nice little gadget to have in your craft stash if you make several of these. I will link this down in the description box. It is just from Amazon, really inexpensive. And all I did was wrap this up about 25 times, and then I tied an extra piece of yarn right into the center. Now I'm going to cut those longer tails off from that center piece that we tied. The nice thing about the tassel maker is it has a little groove at the top, so you can get your scissors down in there to cut. And you're actually going to cut the bottom and the top off here. And now what you're gonna do is actually bend it right in the center and gather all the tails at the same end. And then we have to kind of make that top part of our tassel. So I'm using a extra long piece of yarn. I wrapped it around the top part a couple times before tying a couple knots in it to keep it in place. And then I went ahead and wrapped the top of it several more times to give it that tasseled finished look, and then tied it onto that tail I had left from when I tied it on the first time, and then snipped those tails off. And now we kind of have a crazy looking tassel, so we need to give him a haircut. I gathered all of those end pieces together and then trimmed it with my scissors so it'd all be straight. And now we need to attach our tassel onto our pillow, and I want to put one on each corner. So I have a large needle that I got from Walmart, and I will link it below if I can find it. Really handy to have on hand because it has a large needle eye on it, so you can feed that yarn through. And I just fed it through the corner of the pillow and left the tails long enough so I could tie it with knots, and then trimmed off those tails. And it was just that simple to add a tassel onto the pillow. And like I said, I did that on all four corners. Next up is this $5 table runner from Target. I loved the red and white. I'm obsessed with red and white because you can use it for Valentine's Day, Christmas, of course 4th of July, parties and things, and I really wanted to leave it red and white. So we're gonna make a temporary style table runner, and I wanted some blue stars. So instead of stenciling some stars onto it, which would be permanent, I'm using this metal star, which is from Dollar Tree, as a template, and just cutting out some blue stars out of regular cardstock. I ended up cutting out 6 stars total for my table size, and it's just as simple as laying those stars down on top of your table runner so they're not permanent and you can remove them and reuse your table runner over and over again. You can also substitute this runner for towels or even cut up t-shirt, extra fabric you might have, and get the same look. Now, I don't know about you, but we barbecue a lot, and I mean a lot, during the summertime, and I found this cute oven mitt at Target. It even had a cute little faux leather hook on it, and I loved that. So we're gonna add a little bit of flair to it, and I'm just cutting out some glitter heat transfer vinyl with my Cricut machine. And you could even just cut this straight out with scissors because it's a really simple design. You just weed out all of the parts that you don't want ironed on, and I love this little bit of glitter and glitz that it added to this oven mitt. So I laid this right on top on the front, and I'm using my heat press or my Cricut Easy Press to apply this. But if you don't have one of those, you can even use your iron on the highest setting. You definitely want a lot of heat, a lot of pressure. So this guy though will count down 30 seconds, and then once your heat transfer is cool to the touch, you can come back in and remove the plastic topping, and you have a permanent design. So this is just a little bit of inspiration for you. You could really take this idea and run with it, putting names or sayings or completely different designs on them and make them work for you to make a great Father's Day gift or a gift for the holidays even. And next we're going to personalize this banner. I love Target banners. They are so inexpensive. This one was only $3. I'm gonna add it to the front of my mantle. I love these because they're inexpensive. They're already put together. They're pretty simple and basic, so you can customize them and you won't break the bank. This guy was pretty long though, so I ended up having to remove a few of those little pieces on there. They just came right off. I tied this onto the front, and I always like to tie my banners onto my mantle and then kind of work on them so everything's centered, everything's kind of level and even. And what I'm gonna do is personalize this with some stickers. These are just from Dollar Tree. They're with the posters. They're called poster stickers. And I'm gonna write Happy 4th on this. That's kind of what I could make fit within the amount of space that I had, but of course you can put your own kind of saying on here. You could even put several and make them tiered and do Happy 4th of July or something a little bit longer. And unfortunately I didn't have numbers, so I had to get really creative and start cutting up the stickers that I did have to create the 4th. So the 4 is like pieces from an exclamation point and the letter I, and then I started cutting up other little pieces to make the T and the H, but totally made it work. It took a little bit longer. If you just have the number stickers, you can stick them right on. It goes a lot quicker, but still not a big deal to kind of customize and make something unique. If you're looking for more patriotic or summertime DIYs, I will have some popping up on your screen that you can check out next. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one. Happy crafting!